First, a slight drizzle, finally a technical snag, as India was in the very last stages of launching its most complex mission in outer space, the Chandrayaan-2. In fact, in an atmosphere of great expectations, palpable tension, came an unexpected error that led to lead scientists at the Indian Space Research Organization to take the painful but absolutely essential decision: abort the mission for now. The mission, which was scheduled to launch at 2:51 local time from Sriharikota Space Center last night north of Chennai, is India's most ambitious project till date. At 56 minutes, 24 seconds from the launch time, the countdown stopped. In fact, it was frozen and a media feed from the control room was also cut off. Shortly afterwards, the ISRO confirmed that the launch had been abandoned for the day. A revised launch date will be announced later, but ISRO is yet to give more details on why the launch was delayed and how it will affect the timeline of the Chandrayaan-2 project. ISRO chief K Sivan has said that it was the most complex space mission ever to be undertaken by the agency. The country's first lunar mission in 2008, the Chandrayaan-1, did not land on the lunar surface, but it did carry out the first and most detailed search for water on the moon using its radar. So let's talk about what happened, because this is a time certainly not to be embarrassed, but to embrace all the hard work that we've put in and perhaps to learn some lessons going forward as we attempt for bigger and more challenging projects of this magnitude, and perhaps even bigger than Chandrayaan-2. Joining me right now is also Mr. K Siddhartha, who is an environmentalist, an eminent environmentalist. Mr. Siddhartha, your opening comments, since you're just joining us on the discussion on what really happened when the mission was aborted temporarily, and the lessons perhaps as well that it teaches us.
See, as far as the technical part is concerned, there are not too many things that one can go on to comment, except for Dr. Kapoor said that it was some type of a mismatch that took place between liquefied oxygen and hydrogen. What we can go on to say is you have a 1,000 crore rupee of a project, and if there is a slight glitch that is going to be found, it's better to abort it and take it forward, because we aborted it 1 hour before. Imagine, even Columbia, Atlantis, any one of them, I remember, that was aborted just 10 seconds before its launch. So it's always prudent to do it so, because ultimately, if it would happen and some disaster would have taken place, then that would have sullied the image of India even much more than what a delay is going to be doing it so. And ultimately, we all want it to be successful. And even though it comes after 2 months of a time, when the launch window is going to be opening, maybe 3 months of a time, whatever it is going to be taking, then that is always going to be better. Environmentally, there is nothing that we can go to say so much other than the fact that any type of a delay and that goes on to make it successful will be very, very good for ISRO, because it will go on to open avenues for ISRO that will be able to brand India in a manner we have not imagined so far at all.
Right.
That is what is our main concern. It will go on to brand the PSUs of India. It will go on to brand the scientific community, the scientific temper of it. It will go on to brand a completely new type of a geostrategy that will be a space.
Absolutely, that's a very crucial point. Yes. But when just before the launch, we heard of slight drizzle as well. So when we are looking at a new date to launch Chandrayaan-2, how many factors will we have to once again take into account? Because considering that this launch date would have been decided after a lot of planning and research as well. So does rain or drizzle have anything to do with it? What sort of impediments, environmentally speaking, can we possibly avoid now going forward into the final launch day? Yes.
Actually, rain is not a major factor, but rain, the type of rain and the type of clouds from which it rains, that goes on to become a major factor. Supposing there would have been a cumulonimbus cloud, a cloud that goes on to be having a great degree of a vertical extent, beginning from 1 kilometer, extending all the way to 14 kilometers. Okay. Now, that is a cloud within which a lot of updraft, downdraft, updraft, downdraft takes place. There is a lot of electric discharge as well. There is a lot of charge separation that goes on to take place as well. And this cloud has enormous amount of energy with itself. Now, something happened in this cloud. Let's say there is a thunderstorm, and this thunderstorm would have created a lot of updraft, downdraft. Then that would have affected maybe the trajectory of the spacecraft. So, if there is a light drizzle, let's say there are going to be altocumulus clouds, a cloud that is going to be completely stratified, a very light one, that doesn't going to affect it.
Okay.
But then rain or any type of a low pressure condition has to be avoided. ISRO will going to be having a Doppler radar that will going to give it all the type of wisdom to launch it the way it wants to launch. Even if it is that weather conditions going to delay it for 2 hours, that doesn't matter. It must be launched when there are fair weather cumulus clouds.
Absolutely, point taken.
One of the reasons why is it that the research in India and in fact such type of a work in space is going to be cheaper is because Indian scientists don't have to spend so much on insurance. In the West, you're going to be outsourcing a lot of these things to the private sector.
Yes.
Most of the things are done indigenously here. Now the second part is in the West also, when the private sectors go on to get involved, they're going to raise the cost because there are a lot of steps that they have to go through. Second is the insurance policy of the West. The insurance policy of the West makes it certain that you have made an equipment and that you're going to get it insured and that goes on to add to the price and the cost overall of it. So that goes on to also raise the cost of the project and also the equipment.
Which we don't see in India. For experts around the world, he says this was a reminder that the best of rocket science does not always work according to plan. There was a technical glitch and safety comes first before anything else. I think that beautifully sums it up. Thank you all very much for joining me on India Ahead at 9.